This is a great book, man.
Oh, thank you, sir.
We've all read
Thank
it.
you.
How to have an argument. How do we argue, Jay?
We don't argue. We don't argue.
Don't argue.
We don't argue. And what I do with the missus, I allow myself 15 minutes to be angry.
Right.
And then the rest of it is 45 minutes is basically figuring out why.
Yeah.
Did that happen to me and what's the learning from it? So you should always learn from every experience.
Yeah, you
That's
should.
the way I see it.
Take a beat, take a breath. Because they do say count to 10, don't they? Apparently, you need to count to 30 to really calm yourself down.
To count to 30?
Count to 30, calm yourself down, and that will just disengage. Because what happens is all our fight and flight, fight, freeze, or flight chemicals, they all get sort of riled up when we're angry.
Yeah.
And they do last 30 to 60 seconds because they don't know if you're angry or you're scared. Because you haven't told yourself that yet. So just in case there is a lion trying to eat you, it lasts for 30 seconds. And that's why you need to count to 30, not 10.
So if a lion's going to eat you, count to 30. You don't run. I'd run. I've got to do a runner.
Yeah. No, it's if a lion isn't going to eat you. If a lion is going to eat you, definitely run.
Run. Don't stand there for 30 seconds.
No lions to be seen. How did you decide what to put in your book?
Basically, it's all the stuff that I've had to deal with. So I've got loads of bits. One of the main ones for me is, I think we call it Chapter 5, is community.
Right.
Which is, community has helped me in more ways than one. I remember when I fell down about 8 years ago, ended up in Wolverhampton, and basically a family took me in and the community just showed me love, and hence why I'm here speaking to you guys. It's like it's unbelievable what they've done to me.
We might as well be broadcasting from Wolverhampton today with you and Beverly.
Oh yeah,
in the house. It's all good. Education, excited about life, educated about life. Life is the greatest education. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, for me, life. The experience is, all right, imagine it this way. You're making a casserole.
Yeah.
You can't make a casserole with one ingredient, can you?
No.
So all the experiences you have, those are the things that happen to you in life, and they will build you. Some things are going to set you back a little bit, but there's no way that you can move forward without going backwards.
Yeah.
It's a bit like playing chess. You can't just keep on going forwards.
Yeah.
You've got to go backwards, and then you can move forward. It's all calculated, that's all.
Mistakes are perfect as long as you learn from them.
I love mistakes. It's a bit like, you're a kid and you say, oh, don't put your hand in the fire, and then the kid's going to burn himself, and they try it the first time.
Yep.
And then they learn, like, hold on, that's quite hot, I don't want to do it again. That's what we should be doing. Mistakes, I believe, are perfect, but we shy away from them. A lot of people think like, oh, I don't want to show my kind of insecurities or what I've done wrong or something. Come on, let's just celebrate it.
What about this one? What about the fact if you don't make a mistake or 10 mistakes on a daily basis, you're not trying hard enough?
Oh,
what do you think?
I do like that.
Yeah?
I'd like that a lot. I never heard of that one.
Yeah, you got to push the envelope. I mean, some people say, the Buddhists say, don't pull. If something's going well and you want it close to you, don't pull.
Don't pull.
If something's going badly and you don't want it close to you, don't push. Just leave it where it is. Let it do its own thing.
Yeah.
Stand by it, but don't necessarily stand against it or stand up for it. Just stand by it. Stick around, see what happens.
Hold on a minute. Why haven't you written this book? What's going on? He's just full of them, isn't he?
No, but I read all these books for a living.
No, you give me I'm just feeling like, oh, I feel a bit lifted here. I mean, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, but we're very similar though, Jay, aren't we? Because there is this whole thing about you. There's basically a section you being just excited about life.
I'll tell you what, I'm excited. It's the weirdest thing to come from where I've come from, and then 8 years ago where I was to where I am now. It's like, you got to be excited about life. It's actually happening in front of me. It's like I'm watching this movie and I can't believe, like 2 weeks ago, I was having dinner with a king and I had a sleepover. You know what I mean? And I'm just there wearing a kilt, which I always wanted to wear, and I own one now. And it's like, are you for real? Little boy from a council estate is then mucking around with a geezer from the royal estate. It's like,
Hang
this
on,
is
did
unreal.
you say you had a sleepover?
Yeah. You stay up there.
At Balmoral?
No. Dumfries House.
Oh, right.
That's the one. I'll tell you, at Dumfries House is where some real work is going on, real community work.
What about having a toddler attitude?
You see, the reason why you got to have a toddler attitude is this. My daughter came home, she must have been about 5-6 years old, and she had this scribble on a piece of paper. To me, it looked like a scribble. And she said to me, Daddy, put this on the fridge.
Yep.
So I'm like, all right, I don't know what it is. So I said to her, what is that? And she said, look, there's you, there's Mummy, there's a sea, there's a sun, there's a dog. And I was like, all right. So a week later, I tested her again. And then she told me exactly the same thing. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go for this. I waited for 4 weeks. 4 weeks I waited for. I asked her exactly the same thing. What's in that picture? And she told me exactly the same thing. When you're a toddler, you have this creativity that's just amazing. It's only when we become adults then we could do with the GCSEs, the O-levels, A-levels, all that kind of stuff, and we start paying a mortgage. we should all go back to being a toddler.
Yeah.
Which is just creativity is just a must.
It's funny, isn't it? Because we're tested on our memory mostly.
Yeah.
But we're not tested. And then we're taught, as we grow older, to try not to live in the past. But you spent 13 years at school saying, remember what you learned yesterday. Remember what you learned this year. And by the way, there's a test at the end of all this for the last 13 years. And then the thing you've grown up, don't live in the past. You just taught us for 13 years to live in the past. You absolute muppets.
And also the people that get taught, they're not actually teaching people that, all right, there's intelligent minds, but what about the people that's got intelligent hands? So the people that make stuff.
Tell me about
how are they being taught?
Tell me about it. I love this. This is yours, not mine. This is why you've got a book out and I haven't. If you want something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done.
Exactly.
It's great, that.
It's like
That's going on my wall, that one.
It has to be done, because basically if you keep on moaning about the traffic, you always turn left and you're always bucking up on traffic and whatever, why not turn right? And if you turn right, you see a different viewpoint. You see a different. Well, you might not see traffic actually if you turn right. So that's what it's all about. Simple as that.
For things to change, you have to change things.
It's you that has to change it. You have to make. If you want a different view of life, you have to have a different viewpoint. Completely.
Stop thinking too much. It's all right not to know all the answers. Prep for the repair shop.
That's me all over. I'm dyslexic, so I don't know all the answers. I don't know everything. Don't read that much. Very pigeon kind of reading I do, but it's a case of I don't know it all. But that's why we should be speaking to people, because there's a lot of people like yourself, Chris. You know more about this book than I do. You know what I mean? It's like Annie knows beyond the book. So unless you speak to people, you're not going to know nothing, are you?
Oh, I love it. I mean, every day I am befuddled, bewildered, bewitched, and spellbound by life. I really am. I get up in the morning and I go, here we go again, everyone. Good morning, Vietnam. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy, isn't it?
No, it is. It's unbelievable. And it's one of those things where I never thought I would be in that position. Like, I really do feel like that. I can't do it as good as you, because you're radio geezy, you know what I mean? But good morning, Vietnam.
I bet you could.
I couldn't. All right, let's do it.
You could scotch us both on it. Go on, give it a go. Give it a go.
There we go.
You got to go for it.
Good morning, Vietnam.
No, you come on. Liberate yourself. Come
It
on,
wasn't
let's go.
good, was it? Give me a go.
You got to go for it.
You show me again, because you've done it perfect.
Good morning, Vietnam.
Wow. Okay. Good morning, Vietnam. Oh, God, blimey! I think I've lost a tonsil.
No, I'm with you all the way. It's that oat milk in the coffee here. Yeah. Right. Morning routine. We're on the morning. Good morning routine.
Yes.
What's yours?
Mine is get up in the morning, drink a pint of water.
Yeah. Straight away.
Yeah, straight away. There's water. I have water before I go to bed, and then water when I get up in the morning.
Right.
And then it's push-ups. I do 100 push-ups. I do yoga twist as well. I twist for me back.
Just tell us about this, because it's really important.
Yeah.
So the sequence is when. So you get up out of bed.
Oh, I'm sitting on bed actually.
So what is the water by the bed? Is the water first?
Yeah, the water's first.
So you're down a pint of water?
Yeah, down a pint of water. It's got to be
boom.
done. Yeah.
So I have half a pint of warm water with a bit of
lemon?
A bit of lemon and also a bit of cider vinegar in.
Oh,
a little bit.
That's nice.
Just a splash.
Yeah, I take an apple cider vinegar tablet, but no, I have that.
Yep.
Then downstairs, push-ups, 100 of them.
100
I don't do 100 in one go. I do 50. No, I do 50 or 60, and then I do 20.
Yeah.
And then avocado and a cup of tea. And that's
do you always dress to match the avocado?
Yes, I do.
I wish you could see the jacket Jay's got on. It's the best jacket we've ever. By the way, we've had some good jackets in the studio. Some very strong jackets.
Yeah.
John Bon Jovi's jacket was good. Richard Marx's jacket was good. We've had some pretty strong, punchy jackets. But yours wipes the floor with all of them.
It's like it's got its own postcode, isn't it?
It's Kermit the Frog green.
Yeah.
It's got a bit of a Paul Smith cut to it. I'm sure it isn't Paul Smith, but
no, it's not.
It's got that kind of thing going on. It's so cool, man.
No, thank you, sir.
Jay Blade's life lessons, wisdom and wit from life's ups and downs. Here we go again. We should give meaning to life. We need to give meaning to life. The meaning of life is to give life meaning.
Yeah, and that's all about volunteering. For me, volunteering actually woke me up. I remember I used to work in a place called Oxford Cyrenians. It was a hostel for like alcoholics and homeless people.
Right.
And the people I looked after, they could have all of their possessions in a carrier bag, and the carrier bag wasn't full. And once you look after people and work with people who are less fortunate than yourself, it really brings yourself into perspective, and it does give life a different meaning. So my motto now is to influence people I'm never going to meet. So hence why we're doing the book, and hence why I do what I do.
Yeah.
Is that I'm going to probably speak to people in a different way that I'm never going to meet, but they'll be able to change their life in some way.
You do have that air of wisdom about you, Jay.
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
I can say that. You might agree with me. You might not agree with me. But lots of people don't because they, imposter syndrome, etc., etc. But you do have that. You make me feel safe when you're around.
Oh wow! Seriously?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You honestly do. We talk about people who come in the studio a lot, don't we, Bassos? And they give off different vibes, different auras. I'm glad you read this book. Did you get the sense that people feel that way about you?
Hold on, you just gave me a moment there. Like, I'm filling up my bottom lips. It's like that's really nice.
Yeah, I mean it.
I got to give you a hug. Is that all right?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's take it out. Let's give it out. Yeah, there you go. Oh, do you know what hedgehogs do?
No.
Hedgehog. It's good, man.
Oh man, I wasn't expecting that. What? I don't even know what the question was.
Oh, you were genuinely tearing up, aren't you?
Oh man,
I'm glad.
You feel safe. That's
Comes from the heart, goes to the heart. Yeah.
Sometimes some things happen to you. Wow. Sometimes people say stuff, you don't know what they're going to say, and they say something that really, as you say, it comes from the heart and it touches the heart. And then, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Jay, you're welcome. You're welcome. You must be aware of the fact that that's how you land with people.
No, I don't. The sad state of affairs, or it's a good state of affairs, I think. My naivety, I just go on and I just do what I do. But every now and again, someone... I wasn't expecting that, Cobbler. Someone says something that just like hits you, and it makes you realise how beautiful life is. And you just did it, sir. Thank you.
Well, you can't transmit what you haven't got, mate. And you can't usually recognise what you haven't got.
Yeah.
So if you're seeing beauty, it's because you're beautiful on the inside, my friend. And there's a real depth to you, isn't there? Because I know there's real... Wow. They say let pain be thy medicine, yeah?
Yeah.
And you can let pain and past pain and our ever-present pain body be our super fuel that we can take forward and give to other people.
Yeah.
And that's where you are. That's what's just happened, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. I think for me, especially when I had that mental breakdown 8 years ago, I just love showing my vulnerability. And it takes a special person to get that out. And you just said something that just took me there. And it's like, whoa. And it's just like, just go with it, Jay. Just cry. If you want to cry, hug the geezer. Just say what you want to say. You're a good person. Do you know that? You're really good, man. It's unbelievable.
Rarely said, but I'm taking it right now from Jay Blades.
Whoa.
Are you watching Strictly?
No, I don't get to watch TV that often. I go home, I'm probably filming about 6 days a week. I go home, play music, and then I dance with the missus for about 3 hours.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so we just have a little session. And we just jam and reconnect because I'm going to be off filming again, which is quite crazy. So we don't put the telly on. Yeah.
What are you going to do with this book? Because you're touring it now, you're talking about it.
Yeah.
It feels to me like a springboard for not a change of lane, but another a bonus lane, a parallel lane.
I will take any advice from you because springboard, and you know about springing board and going from different directions and so on and so forth. You know your mustard. Sorry, but the next step is basically just go around and just tour with it and just speak to people and hopefully get the feedback. I love getting positive and negative feedback, so I can't wait for people to read this and tell me what they think and how they've used it or how they haven't used it. And then, just go again. Just keep on going.
So some of my favourite gurus, they have these things called satsangs. And satsang is basically where people get together and they all sit down and the sort of assembled group just ask questions to whoever it is who's sitting up on the stage or the plinth or wherever it may be, or sitting on the floor with them. I feel like because of your life experiences, you could probably field a lot of spontaneous questions.
Yeah, that's the way I operate.
Would you do that? Would you go on tour?
I would
do
love
a talking
to do that.
tour like that, maybe?
Every time someone's going to interview me or whatever, I always say, don't tell me the questions. I prefer to have it spontaneous, so you get a real unprepared answer, I would say. But I'd love to. Were you going to set it up? Go on, you know them all, didn't you?
Well, I'd love to. I mean, we
there.
do it at Carfest. We do have these big tents full of people at Carfest.
But the only thing I would say, if you get me there, don't ask a question or say a statement like that again. You got me right in the heart there. That's a bit wrong. I come to promote the book, not have a cry.
It wasn't what. Well, maybe you did come for a cry.
That's true.
Maybe it's a safe cry.
Yes,
we all need a safe place to have a cry now.
Stop it.
Here we go again. And it wasn't what I said. It was how I said it.
Yeah.
And it was how you heard it. And also, to be honest, I think Beverly Knight, she's changed the atmosphere in the studio because she's brought magic in.
Oh, bless.
You can stick around if you want.
I will do.
Jay Blades was with us this morning. Life lessons, wisdom and wit from life's ups and downs. Beloved TV presenter and Sunday Times best-selling author. And he brought a proper hanky with him. He knew. He knew what was going to happen.
No, I got a flannel. That's what it is. I took it from the hotel.
Yeah, you brought a flannel and you got a bit of flannel as well. Cheers, mate. You're the best, Jay.
Oh, man. Christmas.